Hello everybody. I thought I'd give you a little update on Melvin because I thought it was due. There are a couple of mechanical, well, not really mechanical, there are a couple of bits on the car I'd like to show you in a couple of minutes, but first of all I'd like to show you a couple of bits that I've bought because, not particularly interesting, but the kind of things that nerdy car people like, and so I guess all you would like it as well, so I'll share it with you. We'll start with the most boring thing and then work up to the most exciting thing, and then I'll take you over to the car. And now here's the most boring thing. It is a Haynes manual. I already had a Haynes manual, but it was a 1996 vintage Haynes manual. This is a 1991 vintage Haynes manual, as you can see there. This was new old stock. It was in its shrink wrap, which is impressive in itself because it's a very, very old book. But the reason being is that older Haynes manuals have a little bit more technical things in them, so they have exploded diagrams of components, etc. I'll see if I can find one now. Right, okay, here's one. If I can hold it up. There is a diagram of the oil system. Now you don't get that in the later Haynes manual, despite the fact that it's about the same length, the later one, but you don't get nice diagrams like that. It's a little bit harder to follow the newer ones. They're a little bit more basic. There's a lot more take it to your dealer in the newer Haynes manual than there is in this one, which says, we reckon you should take it to your dealer, but here's how to do it anyway. So that will actually be helpful, apart from it just being a nice bit of history as well. So, part two. The second thing is this, which is an original Philips Rover radio cassette, which someone has unceremoniously chopped out of the loom of a Metro GTA, apparently. So that will be a nice addition. Melvin is 1991. This radio, I think, is 94, which does throw up a couple of wiring concerns. Melvin is, obviously, as you all know, he's base model Metro, so he has a different wiring loom to a lot of the further up the spec Metros. So there's no wiring for electric windows, no wiring for central locking, no wiring for a rear wiper even. It is base model wiring loom. You know, no wiring for even rear speakers, and I don't think it originally had wiring for a radio. He had a dealer-fitted aftermarket radio. I think it was dealer-fitted anyway, but one from 1991. And the previous owner put a new radio in, but the wiring in there is a bit of a mess, and none of it is fit to go with this, so the entire thing will need rewiring, despite the fact that an original radio will be going in. But there you go. At least I've got it. Now finally, here is the good stuff, because these are genuine parts. Love the packaging of these, fantastic. If I can get it open with one hand, which will be a difficulty. Come on. These are new old stock wheel trims for Melvin. Now these are very, very hard to find nowadays. And I just spent £75 on these, which I don't think is that bad. They're originally up for £100, but I managed to get them for £75. As you can see, there are 4 boxes, 4 wheel trims, and they are absolutely mint. Never been on a car before. Absolutely astounding how good these are. Because the wheel trims Melvin currently has on him, put that down and go over here. The wheel trims he currently has are, you can't even really make that out because of the lighting, but they're okay, but they're not particularly good. So these will be used for shows and stuff, so there's a part number if anyone's interested, if you're a massive nerd like me. But these will be used for shows only, just so that there is, when I go to shows I can get the car looking really, really nice, despite the fact it's daily driven. I can get him buffed up really nice, and I can put these wheel trims on when I get there, so that he looks $1 million. Fantastic. Now if we go actually onto the car itself and we have a look down here, you see no leaks from the rocker cover gasket. If you see my last video of me messing around with Melvin, you know that, well, there was a big leak from the gasket here, but since then that was repaired and then started leaking again pretty much straight afterwards from these, well, this kind of area here. But now that is bone dry. One of the big issues I've had is these little rubber washers here, which, yeah, they don't look great there and they aren't great there. You can see that one's even falling off. But I bought those when I originally put a new rocker cover gasket on, because the original rubber washers, which were quite thick, were completely busted. So I bought new ones, just very standard rubber washers, but they're not up for the task, should we say, and that's why they just can't withstand the pressure. And I've had to double them up as well because they weren't thick enough, but that's one of those things. That's the best I could do at the time. If you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments, but they were the best I could find, and they aren't great, but at the moment they're doing a job. So yeah, but now Melvin is on 65,000 miles, just over 65,000 miles now, which means he's done 6,000 miles in 4 or 5 months. So good going, and has been perfectly reliable. To be honest, getting to a point now where I'm thinking this car's just too reliable. I need some kind of project car, but then again, no money and no space. This will be it for now, but not that this is a bad thing. This is a great thing. But Melvin just continues to work. However, the main issue in this video is, if we can get them out, I have a package from Rimmers. And inside the package is a clip here, which goes on the underside of the body. As you know, Melvin has Hydragas suspension, so you have Hydragas displacer here and here. A Hydragas displacer on each corner, and then the one on this side has a pipe that goes down the car to the rear one on that side, and the one on this side has a pipe that goes down the car to the rear one on that side, which means the suspension anticipates bumps from the rear end of the car. And the pipes going along the floor of the car have little clips that hold them on. One of them on this side is rattling about like mad. I originally thought it was a trim rattle. I did say in a previous video actually I thought it was a trim rattle, but it isn't. It's because a clip has snapped. That's not going to focus. There you go. So yeah, there is a new clip. Let's go put it on. Right, under here, that was my temporary bodge that has now come undone, as I expected it would. Right, that clip there should, well, it's not even very tight there, should clip the Hydragas pipe to the car, but it isn't doing, because it's snapped. So I'll get that off and I'll put the new one on. Right, so again, here is the new clip, and here is the old clip. You see, it's just, if you can get them in the right orientation, yep. It's just snapped off there. I don't know why, don't know when it happened, but it did. So that can go in the bin, and I've got a new one here. Did also buy a second one, just in case the same thing happens again, but I thought they're so cheap that I might as well pay for 2 of them. So there you go. Actually, I might as well show you what's on now that I've got it off. That screw there, that's where it screws onto. See the brake lines there? I think they're brake lines. Yes, they are the brake lines. So that little screw there is where it goes onto. Right, so that new clip, oh, if it focuses, there we go. That new clip is on. It's not the most secure because at the end of the day it's really hard to screw that onto the thing, so it's more bashed on, because I'm not taking up the carpet and seeing if we can get to that screw. It's just pushed on, and it seems as secure as the other ones, so hopefully it'll stay. I certainly can't pull it off, so that should suffice, I hope. Another thing is that I am running new tyres on Melvin. I've got new tyres on all 4 corners. They are Toyo Nano Energy 3s. Apologies for the filthy car, but it's the way it's going to be. All 4 tyres. I've been rotating the tyres, and all 4 of them had no tread left on them, so I got new tyres. And maybe I'll tell you how they are. They're not quite bedded in properly yet. They've still got all the stripes around them, but when you do mainly motorway driving, it takes a little bit longer to run things in. And the other thing that I've been messing about with is a rear lamp cluster. This is the back side of a rear lamp cluster for a Metro. Melvin's passenger side brake light was on the blink, so the bulb holder was to blame, so I bought a new bulb holder. This is the old one, and you see that's not going to focus. Is it going to focus? Come on. No? Okay. You can see the damage there. It was corroded, which meant a dodgy connection, which meant it started to burn itself a little bit. I bought a new bulb holder, put it in, and now it works again. The tiniest of little thing, but it is something nonetheless. Now, I'd just like to say thank you very, very much to everybody who's watching my stupid rambly car videos. I've been doing it since mid-August now, and I've just hit 3,000 subscribers, so thank you very much for that. But I know that a lot of you are watching these videos regularly without subscribing, so if you could, please click the subscribe button, because it means an awful lot. It encourages me to make more of these stupid videos. And I suppose that if you've watched this silly little video for long enough to be listening to me saying this now, then you must be interested enough to maybe subscribe, so please do. But apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in another video. Click here to watch a video of me messing around with Melvin's spark plugs and rust and interior light and stuff last time, and click here to subscribe. See you soon.